Om Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagarthaviva Sampraktau Vagarthah Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Namaste. Welcome. It's nice to see all of you. So we'll come back to what we had up on the screen before, just a warm-up exercise. So we have, this is Tattvabodha. So we saw some sentences now, and so here's the next continuation, right? What we're looking at, this whole topic here is based on this question, right? Shamadishatka sampattihi ka shamo dhamaha uparamasthitiksha shraddha samadhanam cheti, right? So we're seeing each of these, shamaha, dhamaha, uparamaha, titiksha, shraddha, samadhanam, right? What are all these things? So that's what we're asking. And so that's how we got here. So uparamaha kaha. So this is the third quality. And this is, so you can repeat after me. Uparamah kaha swadharmanushtanam eva. Okay. So what case is kaha and uparamaha? Yeah. this is easy, right? So even if you don't know anything, you put one finger up, you'll probably be right. Kaha, right? Kim shabda. So it's sarvanama. This is akaranta pullinga. Prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Kartari prathama. To bhavati, we can. But kaha, right? So 1-1, and then uparamaha. So don't ask me what the translation of uparama, because that's what the next line is. Kaha, I don't know, right? What's the answer? Swadharmanushtanam eva. Anushtanam. So you may have heard this word in reference to like a puja or an abhisheka, anushtana. You're doing some kind of practice, right? Some sort of ritual. Here, anushtana, yeah, it just means practice of swadharma. Of swa means one's own dharma. So the practice of one's own dharma, eva, alone. So what's the case for eva? Eva is avyaya word. Avyaya, alone, avyaya. Anushtanam, first case. So anushtana, akaranta, napumsakalinga, prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. Eva's abhyaya. So the practice of one's own dharma alone. Right? This is a tatpurusha samasa because it's right, we're talking about anushtana, the practice of swadharma. So it's technically we would call it shashti, 6T, shashti tatpurusha. Right? So swadharmasya anushtana, the practice of swadharma. Alone, it's called uparamaha. Why does it say alone? Because you're not supposed to do someone else's dharma. Your dharma alone. Don't try to do your children's dharma as well, right? Then titikshaka, shitoshna, sukhadukhadi, sahishnutvam. Okay, now the whole thing. Shitoshna sukhadukhadi sahishnutvam. The reason I say do the whole thing is because technically we're not supposed to break the samasa. So when we read, we're supposed to read the whole samasa together. Even if it's long, we're supposed to be able to read the whole thing. But being compassionate teachers, such as I had, right, we break it so that we can read. But we're supposed to read the whole thing together. So what case is titiksha and ka? Yeah, even if you don't know, you can guess, right? First case. Okay, but how come it said Kim was first case? Here it says ka. Same, different, right? No, this is the same. So Kim Shabda, Sarvanama, but it is Strilinga. Ka, feminine. Kaha is masculine. Kim is Napumsakalinga. Ka is feminine. There's sort of, you hear like in the word, there's some elegance, right? There's some, that elegant feminine there. Ka, it's softer, it's nice, more elegant. So in kaha, it's kind of, you have to get, it's, yeah, not so elegant. That's a masculine. Kim, you can see it like that. Titiksha, right? So tikshiksha, so it's akaranta, strilinga, prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. Right, then this word, okay, long word. Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Adi, Sahishnutvam. So one giant samasa. Okay, one giant samasa. So Sahishnutvam literally means like tolerance. But it has a kind of a negative quality to it. So we say objectivity or acceptance. Acceptance is generally how Buddha Swamiji would say. Literally means like tolerance. What? Acceptance. Acceptance of what? So acceptance is our main word. So this whole thing is a tatpurusha samasa. And all of these are just basically, the rest of it is one dvanda samasa. Each word we have to take separately. So it's, I'm going to say, sorry, D. And then Sahishnutvam, 6T, right? So the acceptance of Shita, Shita means hot, or it means cold. Ushna means hot. Sukha means pleasure, happiness. Dukkha means pain. Adi, etc. Right? So the acceptance of all of these things with the same attitude, right, is tatiksha. This is also like karma yoga, right? It's all similar. Samatvam and titiksha, same thing, essentially. Okay, now this has become a Vedanta class. Yes. So is it an abstract noun? So hishnutvam. Yeah. So you see that tvam. That tvam makes an abstract noun. So it's really, we would say that like acceptance or forbearance, that it makes it an abstract noun. So yes, this is, or we can say, really it'd be like acceptance, nis, the NESS is how we make it an abstract noun, but we wouldn't say it like that in English. So that the quality of acceptance is how you make it, was an abstract noun. Okay. So now that we got some vocabulary, right? We're building vocabulary. Now we're going to switch to Sādhanabodhini. And I know I'm moving at fast speeds, but want to get through this as well. So let's look at the prayer. You can chant together. I'll chant slowly. Om Namaskritya Gurum Bhaktya Brahmatmananda Rupinam Sadhanasyopadeshtaram Purve Sadhanabodhini. Hopefully that meaning is still coming, even just a little bit. Mula pramanam vedosti dvidhatasya vibhajanam pratamah karma kandascha vedantascha parasmritaha. So we saw that, right? The Veda is the fundamental means of knowledge. Veda mula pramanam asti. Tasya vibhajanam dvidha. It is divided into two parts. Pratama karma kandaha. The first is known as karma kanda. Paraha vedanta cha. And the second is vedanta. Smritaha. Thus it is known. Okay, shloka 3. Got it? Got it. Okay. All right. You can repeat after me. Karma vakti palam chapi karma kandascha karma kando hyapurvataha tattu sarvam parichinnam Nyayate shruti yuktitaha. So the question about Smrita, I'll take at the end, okay? Just so since we started. So let's just read the translation, right? Karma Kanda talks about action, a ritual. And it talks about its results in a unique way, right? So we talked about Karma Kanda and Vedanta. Now we're going to talk about Karma Kanda, right? So Karma Kanda talks about karma, action, and its results in a unique way. But that whole thing is limited. This fact is known through Veda and logic. So we see this first sentence. Karma kandaha karma phalam cha purvataha bhakti. Okay. So usually we look for the verb, right? Now here we have a verb-like word. It's called a kridanta. Okay, what is a kridanta? This is new word. Kridanta is where I have a dhatu and I add a suffix to make it into a noun. Okay, I have a dhatu plus a certain suffix and I make it into a noun. So here the word is bhakti. Right? Vach dhatu, right? Vach dhatu, to say. And I have the pratyay tin, K-T-I-N, tin, K-T-I-N. The nakara goes away. So K-T-I-N, vach plus tin plus becomes bhakti. Okay. So here the word bhakti means tells, right? So technically, though, this is one. Bhakti is the tin pratyaya gives three linga. It's three linga. So it's ikaranta, short ikaranta, stri, right? And then this we can add bhavati as well. So this can be kartari pratama to bhavati. Is, yeah, but it becomes a bit funny. So we'll just leave it as at this much. It means talks. Okay, it says bhakti, talks. What talks? Now we look for which case. You can use your finger. After we get a verb or a verb-like word, we look for the first case. Okay. Now here we're going to take it as it has a kartari, like. So we're going to look for first case. So first case. So we see. Does someone want to give me the? Yeah. Okay. So Urmilaji, you're first on my screen, so I'm going to call you. Okay. So what is my first case?
Karmakandaha.
Karmakandaha. So can you give me the breakdown of what karmakanda?
Karma and kanda. It's a. I think it's dvandva samasa.
Okay. So
equally important.
So beyond that, what's the pratipadika?
Oh, pratipadika is karma and kanda. Both are pratipadika. There are two pratipadikas, aren't they?
Yeah. So, but when we make a samasa, the whole thing is the pratipadika. So
karma kanda.
Karma kanda. You can, yeah. So karma kanda.
Akaranta pullinga. Prathama vibhakti ekavachana. 2. Bhavati.
Yeah. Or we can say kartari. Let's say kartari pratama to bhakti.
Kartari pratama to bhakti. Yeah.
To bhakti. Okay. So we're breaking our rules here, but we're gonna just to simplify it to bhakti. Okay. So far the translation is.
It is karmakanda is told.
Yeah, or talks. Right? Here we're going to take.
Is it a past tense? Past tense bhakti?
Yeah. So because the way Swamiji translated, I took it as kartari, but tin usually has that passive voice. But let's take it as active voice. Okay. So says, just for simplification. Okay.
If you say says, it should be bhavati, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, kartari pratama. So karma kanda. So karma kanda talks.
Talks.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now, talks about what? Hold on, I can't see everyone. Let me just 1 second. One second. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so they said it in the chat. So Nilemaji, so I'm gonna call on you. So it talks about what?
Talks about karma phalam. So
Karma and phalam. So here they're two separate words.
two separate words.
So this is going to be tricky. Okay, so karma, this is tricky. Okay, I'm going to warn you. Or let's start with palam. Okay, palam.
Phalam. So it's a neuter gender, napumsaka.
Yep. So pratipadika is
Phala. Phala.
Yeah. So the pratipadika is palam actually.
Phalam.
Yeah, because it's napumsakalinga.
Napumsakalinga. But
And then
ekavachanam.
Okay, so akaranta.
Akaranta napumsakalinga. Ekavachanam.
So it talks about.
So it is Dvitiya Bhavakti.
Dvitiya Vibhakti. Yeah, Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam. 2-1. So that's a little tricky here. 2-1. Talks about. Now, I pause for a second. I wanted to show you all this as well. So if we look at this, this is Brahman, okay? Just like Brahman, which is Anta Napumsakalinga Shabda. Which is just like, actually, it's not, oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm talking about the next word. I'm talking about karma. Okay. Well, anyways, I gave it away. So karma is nakaranta ending. So it's actually the word is karman.
Karman. I see.
Okay. So karman. So just like we have Brahma, Brahmani, Brahmani. We have karma, karmani, karmani. Karma, karmani, karmani. So here we have the word karma. Which cases can it be?
Probably since phalam is second, Dvitiya Bhavakti, Brahma would be Dvitiya Vibhakti as well.
Yeah, so karma here is also Dvitiya Vibhakti because it talks about it. It can also be first case though, just so we know, right? Karma can be 1-1 or 2-1, just like Brahma can be either one of those, right? So it's a little bit tricky. We don't see, we think karma is akaranta, but it's actually nakaranta. Napumsakalinga. So this is na ending. I'll just napumsakalinga Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam. So this is karmani Dvitiya to bhakti. Okay. So far the translation we have is karma kandaha talks about karma, action, and phalam. Okay. Here we have the word chakara, which case is, yeah, avyaya. Avyaya, right? Avyaya. And so it's these two. So karma and karma, phalam, cha. So karma and phalam. Okay. Now here we have the word apurvataha. Apurvataha means uniquely. Uniquely. Okay, so it talks about karma and phalam in a unique way. It talks about it in uniquely. Okay, now here is a funny thing that happens in Sanskrit. So this is new that we're learning. When you have a word that is an adverb, okay? An adverb. So what is an adverb? Something which qualifies the verb. Right? So here, apurvataha goes with bhakti or verb-like. Yeah. So let me share the screen. Thank you for sharing that. So here the word apurvataha, uniquely, right? So uniquely talks about, it goes with bhakti, right? Talks uniquely, right? It goes with the verb like, it's adverbial, okay? So here, when you have a word that has an adverb quality, when it's an adverb, you can actually just say it's avyaya. Okay, now that's a funny thing that happens. Even though it looks like it has a first case, you can just say avyaya if it has an adverbial quality, right? So if it qualifies, connects with the verb, right? It uniquely talks about. If you see the ly, that usually tells you it's adverb, right? Uniquely talks. If it goes with the adverbial quality, then you can give it avyaya. So karma kanda talks about karma and phalam uniquely, or in a unique way. If you say first case, that's also not a problem, right? Apurvata, akaranta, pullinga, apurvata shabda, prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. And this would be, yeah, so you can take it that way as well. That's no problem. But I wanted to add that piece, when you have that adverbial sense, then you can give it avyaya. So you'll see that a lot of times. Okay, so this translation, karma kanda talks about action and its result in a unique way. Tattu sarvam parichinnam shruti yuktitaha nyayate. Okay, Pratima ji, can I ask you for information about what is the verb here?
It's nyayate.
Nyayate. So
It's
dhatu.
atmanepada verb.
So let's start with the dhatu.
Nya.
Yeah, nya dhatu.
Yeah, nya dhatu. Yeah. I don't know the methodology to speak.
That's okay. So the verb is made of dhatu and pratyaya. So we'll start with dhatu.
Dhatu is nya. Yeah.
Nya. So that's, I think it's I don't even know what number it is actually. So we'll have to look that up.
Okay.
But it means, what does it mean?
Nyayate is to
Or just
like
nya?
to be known.
To know.
Yeah.
To know, exactly. Okay, so they're saying it's 9u. Nya, 9u, to know.
Okay.
And then what lakara? What tense?
Nyayate tattu sarvam parichan nyayate. I think it's is it lat lakara?
Yeah, lat lakara, present tense, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And is it kartari or karmani prayoga?
I think it is karmani.
Yeah, how do you say that?
Or because it's nyayate, and also the prathama purusha and third, it's like a subject is in third and object is in first.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so nyayate. So nyadatu, 9u, to know, lat lakara, kartari prayoga, and then, or sorry, karmani prayoga, prathama purusha, ekavachanam. Right. Oh, 9p. Okay, 9p. It's 9p. Let's clarify that. Okay. Nyayate, we know it's karmani because you have this yakara and it's also atmanepada, right? That's how we know that. So when you see those two things, you get a clue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question though. On the above line, he added yah purvataha. Karma vakti phalam chapi karma kando yah purvataha. So we didn't talk about yah. How did we get yah?
Yeah. So how did this become hya purvataha? Okay. So here, what I'm skipping is breaking all the sandhis. I'm giving it to you. Here we have the word he. Let me make that real clear. Okay, so he plus up. Oh. Apurvata. Huh? He plus apurvata. So now I have ikaranta plus akaranta. So when I have anything other than short akara to start with. So ich, I, u, r, l. So any vowel except for short akara plus akara, any vowel other than akara plus akara, I get yan sandhi. Okay. So actually, the second part can be any vowel. It doesn't have to be akara. Here we have akara, right? So I have e plus a, so it becomes ya. That e plus a becomes yakara, so it becomes hya purvataha. Okay. Yeah, sorry, you're muted. So why don't you? Yeah.
What does the he means though?
Oh yeah, he. Okay, I didn't talk. He can mean two things. Here, it just can mean indeed, emphasis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like it emphasizing this point. But sometimes you see he as because.
Okay.
So you have to ask the teacher. If you see he, say, what is it? Why? It doesn't mean because, or does it mean indeed, right? So here it just means indeed.
So what category it would be under avyaya or avyaya? Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Okay. So just for time's sake, I'm gonna do a little bit more of the second sentence, okay? Because we're almost out of time. So nyayate. When we always pick up a verb and then we look for the first case, no matter what. Okay? No matter whether it's karmani or kartari, we always just look for the first case. Here we have the first case, tat, right? Tat nyayate. Tat pratipadika tad shabda. Right? This is sarvanama. This is napumsakalinga prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Is it kartari prathama? No, because we're in karmani prayoga. So this is actually karmani prathama. First case in the sense of object to the verb nyayate. Okay? Please shake your head if you're following. If you're not following. Okay. All right. So tat nyayate. So this is karmani prathama to nyayate. So that is known. That is known. You see this word tu kind of snuck in there? Now, in English, we would put that word first. You say, but that whole thing, or however. Tu means but or however. But in Sanskrit, you never really start with an avyaya. The avyaya won't be the first word. So here we have to take it second word. When I'm making this word order, I made this from my own head, but there's some rules, right? Because when you put avyaya, you never start the sentence with cha or tu, okay? You add it as a second word or later on in the sentence. Tu means but or however. So, however or but, tat nyayate, that is known. Okay. Now we have some words that qualify tat with sarvam and parichinnam. Both our words are in first case napumsakalinga, because they qualify tat, which is also napumsakalinga. Right? So these are we call samanadhikarana. They both are, they're referring to the same object and they're going to be in the same case. So tat sarvam, that everything is parichinnam, is limited. But that all or that whole thing is limited. What's the whole thing? Karma and phalam is all limited. So that is known, that everything is known as limited. How do we know that? Shruti yuktitaha. Shruti yuktitaha. Shruti yuktitaha. Now, this is a funny why I say it a few times, because so Shruti yuktitaha is technically, you would think it's first case. Okay, now here we have a suffix taha, this tasil. Technically it's called tasil. Okay, tasil becomes tas, and then it becomes taha. Now that gives avyaya. How do you know that? Yeah, it just comes, okay? You just have to practice. Taha. So it gives the avyaya, but it gives the meaning of either third case or fifth case. Okay. Yeah, so usually we say third or fifth. Okay. Actually, it's mostly sorry, let me take that back. It is fifth case. We take it as the meaning of fifth case. Okay. So here I would take it as more of a meaning of heto panchami, right? Like in the sense of the cause. But here we can't say panchami because it's really avyaya, but in the sense of cause. So how do we know? Because Shruti Yukti, because of Veda, Shruti, and Yukti, logic. Okay. Okay, we have to stop here because we're flying through this. So I don't know if you're getting it, but we're flying through this. We'll slow down and we'll just recapture this in the next class, and then we'll move on to the next sentence. Okay. And I'll take a question while we're taking a break. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Okay. So, Nilimaji, let me unmute you. If you need to go take a break, please go ahead. But if you want, yeah, go ahead, Nila.
So this you introduce the word krudanta as dhatu plus suffix, and it makes a noun, is what I understood.
Yeah.
So my question is, now tingantam padam is dhatu plus ting pratyaya, right?
Mm-hmm.
And subantam padam is pratipadikam plus supratyaya, is what I remember. So where does krudanta fall in that picture?
Yeah. So it's dhatu plus krit pratyaya.
Oh, krut pratyaya.
Yeah, it's a special type of pratyaya that makes a noun.
Krut pratyaya.
So still afterwards we still add a supratyaya technically.
So dhatu plus krut pratyaya plus supratyaya.
Plus supratyaya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
So therefore it is subanta. It ends with sup. But here you don't see that because it's the first case. Sup comes and goes, as it were.
Krudanta means a noun. Is that correct?
Kridanta is a noun.
Is a noun. But then subanta and
Which ends with
krudanta are two different.
It's so Subanta is a bigger category. Krit, those with is end with Krit pratyas fits into Subanta.
Okay, got it. So in the Subantam, Krudanta falls somewhere.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you so much.